Why, hello there everyone. My name is Christianne and welcome to my channel Backpacking Bananas. Now you may know that I am currently backpacking Thailand. I'm actually right now in an island called Koh Samui. You're going to be seeing more of this island and the exploration vlogs in the coming weeks. But in today's video, as promised, I wanted to show you what I have packed in my personal item. So you may have seen the last video where I showed you what I packed in my actual backpack, my Eagle Creek Global Companion 40 litres. But over the years, I have realised I'm not able to travel with just one backpack. That just doesn't work for me. And there's a few reasons for that, but I'd say the biggest reason is because I like to keep my valuables on me, close to me at all times. And as a travel vlogger, I carry quite a lot of valuables with me: cameras, laptop, iPad. And so let's say I have to check in my 40-litre backpack on the plane for whatever reason. I can't be putting my laptop in the checked away luggage. Or let's say I'm getting on a bus and my backpack needs to go in that compartment underneath. I'm not wanting my valuables to go away there. I want them to be on me, so I need a permanent separate bag where I can have my valuables close to me at all times, where I know where they are. I know I can lock that stuff away when need be. That's what this bag is, and that's the bag that I'm going to be showing you around today. So you may notice, if you've been following for a while, that I have a new backpack for this. This is the Kabaya. Oh my goodness. All right, let me check. It's called the Adventurer Brown. So it's the Adventurer backpack in the medium size in the color brown from the company Kabaya. Now, I had never heard of this company until about 3 months ago when I was in Turkey and I was in a little boutique store in Kaş, and I saw the small version of this backpack in a little shop, and immediately I fell in love. I fell in love with the material, with the design, the fact that it seemed to be made so well, the quality was amazing, and I said to Jeremy, I have to have this backpack. But the backpack was a little bit too small to carry my laptop. I ended up looking online, saw that they had different sizes and that the medium one would be perfect to fit my 13-inch laptop. So now this is my new backpack. I'm absolutely stoked with it, and I will show you all the features now and everything that I have packed inside. So as you can see, we have an outside pocket here. We have these lovely handles to pick it up like this, and then we also have straps on the back to make it a backpack. So the first thing that you see when you open up the inside, so it opens up really quite nice and like box-like, and so you can actually fit a lot more in here than you might think. And I hope you can see this okay, but we have quite a lot of sections here as to how I can organize my things. So in the back here we have a laptop sleeve, and then we have a mesh pocket. We have 2 pockets on the side here, and the other is there. And then we also have like a key ring where I can attach things to hang from the side here. And then there is also like an elastic around here where I can attach things as well. So this is just the makeup of the main bag, and now I'll talk you through everything that I've got in this main section. So of course, on the back side of my backpack where the laptop sleeve is, we have my laptop. I have a MacBook Pro 13-inch. It fits perfectly. I think if you had a bigger laptop than this, it wouldn't fit in this backpack. But this brings me swiftly on to the sponsors of today's video, Surfshark. So I've had Surfshark on my laptop for a couple of years now, and if you don't know, Surfshark is a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. A VPN is something that we should all be having on our devices in 2022. It has a whole range of benefits, but something that is particularly useful when you travel is that you can switch your virtual location to pretty much anywhere in the world. So if you open up your Netflix when you're in a foreign country, sometimes you don't have access to the shows that you would normally watch. But when you go to Surfshark, with the click of a button, you can find a country where the show you want is available, or just back to your home country where you know you can normally watch these things. And in a matter of seconds, you refresh your page and you have a whole different country's Netflix. And a tip for this is actually switching to the US, who has the most Netflix shows in the world. And also when we're traveling, what we're probably doing a lot is connecting to public public Wi-Fi network. So when you're in an airport, for example, you're probably connected to the public airport Wi-Fi. But what you may not know is by doing this, your device is at risk of being hacked via that internet connection. But if you browse that same Wi-Fi connection with Surfshark VPN, it acts as a virtual shield on your connection, and so no hackers can get in. This is super, super important to protect all of your data, and the great thing about Surfshark is that it's one of the only VPNs where you can access it on an unlimited number of your devices with just the one account. And Surfshark, as usual, are giving you guys an amazing discount. You can get 83% off and an extra 3 months for free when you use my code backpacking or using the link in the description. So as well as having Surfshark on my laptop, I also have it on my iPad, which I keep in the same laptop sleeve in the backpack. I travel with my iPad Pro 12.9 inch, and it may seem a bit excessive that I travel with both a laptop and an iPad. This was never the initial intention, but unfortunately I've got to the point where I use both so much and I rely on them both to get the work done that I need to get done, that now I travel with both. But I love it. I love the uses that I have for both of these things, especially with the Apple Pencil. So they're both essentials in my personal item. And in that slightly more forward mesh compartment next to the laptop sleeve, I keep basically all of my paperwork. You may have seen in my entering Thailand vlog that to enter, I needed to print out all of the documents, so like your Thailand pass, your travel insurance, your hotel confirmation, your vaccination certificate. There was so much you needed to physically print out. You weren't allowed to show it on your phone. So I just got this little plastic folder which I kept all of those documents in. And also, if I'm ever given any documents by any important person in Thailand, I'm keeping it in this same folder. I don't throw anything away, because the thing is, you don't know when you're going to need it again. Sometimes they're just something like, oh, have you got your this? And you're like, oh, well, yes, I was given that at some point. So yeah, I'm just keeping all of the documents that I'm given in this little plastic folder. It's just all neatly together there. And I've also found it quite useful to put all of my receipts in here as well. I don't keep all of my receipts of purchases that I make in Thailand, but especially things that might go down as a business expense, I definitely am keeping those receipts. And just other important little paper things, like when I bought a SIM card, I've put my old SIM card back in the little document they gave me in here. So yeah, just any important documents, paperwork is kept in this plastic sleeve. So also in that mesh sleeve, I have brought with me this Thailand book. It's a Marco Polo one, and my mum bought me this for Christmas, I think it was. It just has loads and loads of tips for Thailand in it, and I never normally bring these kind of books traveling with me, but I don't know, I really liked it, and I thought it was pretty small and pocket sized. I had room for it in my backpack, and so I thought it might just be quite nice to bring. And it is quite nice to flick through, especially when you're on transport or anything like this and you don't want to use electronics. And finally, what else do I have in here? Oh yes, so I bought a new electronic toothbrush a couple of weeks ago, because unfortunately mine broke. So I bought a new one, and it came with a bunch of paperwork with like the instructions and warranty and stuff, and I just felt like I should hold on to it and not throw it away. And also, oh, we have a rogue cable in this mesh pocket. I'm keeping my adapter for my MacBook Pro, which means that I'm able to plug in things like USBs, USB-Cs, SD cards, micro SD cards, HDMI cable. Like, this just plugs into my MacBook Pro, and I'm keeping it in that mesh pocket as well. So moving on to the pockets on the other side of the backpack, in this little pocket which has a little flip up lid, I'm keeping all of my hard drives. I'm actually traveling with 3 hard drives at the moment. We've got this one which is full of some old footage from the summer, some of which I'm still working on. This is like my current hard drive, and then I also have a solid state drive, which is what I edit off. It's a lot of hard drives, but for a travel vlogger like me, it's very, very necessary to keep all of my footage together. I'm actually super impressed with the Wi-Fi in Thailand, and so as well as the external hard drives, I've been backing up all of my footage by uploading it to Google Drive. For the first time ever when I've been traveling, the Wi-Fi has actually been fast enough to do that, so I'm super stoked, and it means that hopefully I definitely won't be losing any of my footage on this trip. That's happened in the past and it's an absolute nightmare. So anyway, hard drives in that pocket, and then in the other open pocket I am keeping all of my cables. It's a big dilemma for me, you know, figuring out the best way to organize all of the cables where they are really nice and neat and organized, but also easy to access and put in and out, but also in a nice position where they're not really bent and gonna break. And so my newest solution, which I am enjoying at the moment, is I've bought these like in different colors. They're like these cable ties. I just got them off Amazon. It was a couple of quid for like 30 of them. And yeah, I'm just organizing all of my cables with these cable ties, and then I stick them in that pocket. And to be honest, so far it's working quite well, and they're very organized. I know which cable everything is because I've color coordinated it, and I keep them all in that pocket there, so they're all very accessible whenever I need it. Moving on to more of the organization in this backpack, in one of the corners we have this kind of keyring which you can attach various things onto. The first thing that I've got attached is this. This is a foldable shopper bag, literally, and I'll show you. So you can open it out, and it's just like a shopping tote. So if we go to the supermarket or the shops and we want to do a bit of shopping but we don't want to use a plastic bag, we can use this. Or if we just ever need an extra bag for things, it's just very useful. And actually, we've both used this quite a lot already, so I would highly recommend having a foldable shopper bag for when you're backpacking. And this bag just folds back into here. I got like a bunch of these bags off Amazon for a very cheap price, so I'll link them in the description. They're very handy. I also have, and I'm not going to get this one out, but this, believe it or not, is a massive waterproof poncho which you can put over all of your clothes when there is a downpour. So I made an executive decision on this trip that I was not going to bring my proper raincoat. I was just really unsure that I was going to use it. I was just thinking, if it's raining in Thailand, I'm either not going to go outside or I'm just going to risk getting wet. I don't need like a good quality waterproof to go over me. To this day, I still stand by that decision, and I think that this is a really nice alternative. It's just a very low quality poncho that folds up absolutely tiny, and you just use it in times where you need it, where you just want to stay a little bit dry. I'm not going to be in it for a long time. It's just when I absolutely need it, and I've used this once. So yeah, and it has a little clip as well, so I can attach it onto the side of my bag. And then finally, another thing which is attached onto this side little keyring is this little thing. You may be wondering what that is, and so am I. No, I'm kidding. It is a memory card holder. It's mostly just got my micro SD card adapters and a few micro SDs in at the moment. It also has one of these things which allows you to get into the SIM card in your phone. But yeah, it's an SD card holder. It keeps your SD card safe, and as a travel vlogger this is something that's very useful for someone like me. And that is it for that corner of the bag. And then I showed you earlier in the other corner there is an elastic which I think is normally supposed to be used for water bottles. I did not bring a water bottle on this trip. I don't have a reason for that. Kind of forgot, but also kind of just didn't feel it was super necessary. I'm not going to go into the details of why I didn't bring a water bottle. Anyway, I've used this elastic fastening for other things, such as my sunglasses. This is my sunglasses box. I have some Ray-Bans, not super exciting. But yeah, they just fit nicely into that side. And I also have in that little corner some berry flavour, high five, zero sugar, electrolyte sports drink. Like those little tablets. Basically, I wanted to bring Diarrhea with me. You know, when you've been vomiting or you've had diarrhea, or if you're just really hungover and you're really dehydrated and you want to get more electrolytes in your system, you can get Diarrhea sachets, which is like the powder which you put in water, which just helps to hydrate you. But then I found these on Amazon and I thought they were a good alternative and a good use of space. 15 or 20 of these little tabs in this tube. I haven't used any yet because I haven't had diarrhea, vomited. I mean, I have been hungover, but I forgot to use them. But hopefully I will use these on this trip. And that is it for all of the side pockets that are within the main section. And then everything else in the bag is just kind of loose in there. I tried to keep this amount of stuff minimal because obviously if it's just loose in the backpack, then it's going to be quite hard to dig and find. But what I did decide just to keep in the bottom of the backpack is This is my multi-plug. I've had this for a couple of years now. I bring it with me on every backpacking trip. It just has 3 plugs and 3 USBs. And then I have my adapter for whatever the country is that I'm going to on the end of here. It basically means I only need one adapter and then I can just plug everything that I need to charge it into here. As a travel vlogger with very many electronics, this is just absolutely essential for me. And also the fact that it's got this extension lead is amazing as well, because no matter where the plug is in the room, I can always find a convenient place to charge my things. We have my GoPro. So I don't know if I've mentioned to you yet on this trip, but I am not bringing my big Lumix GH5 camera with me for one of the first times on one of my backpacking trips, because I just wanted to be even more minimal with this backpacking trip and bring as little as possible. So my main filming camera is the one that I'm filming on right now, and it's the DJI Pocket 2. Let me know how you like it, but for me so far I think it's great. It's so small and easy to bring around with me. I think the quality is great. So yeah, I'm really pleased. So I've got that. I've got my GoPro Hero9, which I keep on the shorty stick, and I'm basically just using this for when I go in the ocean, just any water content, or if I just ever need a second camera, I'm bringing this. And then I also have with me this, which is my GoPro Hero8, but the reason that I'm bringing this as well is because I have a dive casing for it. Unfortunately, my dive casing doesn't fit over my GoPro Hero9, so I bring my old one and the dive casing for it, because if I go scuba diving, I absolutely need this. Without the dive casing, you can't go deeper than I think 10 meters with the GoPro, otherwise it just glitches, it stops working. So yeah, this is literally exclusively only if I go scuba diving I will use this. I'm actually saving up for a new scuba diving camera at the moment. Hopefully on the next backpacking trip I go and I will have it. What else do we have in here? We have my glasses, not my sunglasses, but my regular glasses, which I don't need to be wearing right now because I'm wearing my contacts. But yeah, I just brought one pair of glasses for this trip for when I don't want to wear my contacts. I have my cap. This is probably my favorite cap that I've ever traveled with. It was another Christmas present from my mum, so thank you, Mum. I put it on my wish list. It is from Lululemon, and the reason that I love it so much is because it's a sport one, and so it's quite thin and it's very breathable. So essentially, even when it's super hot, your head doesn't sweat, which is amazing. And I'm pretty much wearing this all day, every day, because when you've got the Thailand sun beating down on you, like, you don't want it in your eyes. So yeah, I just think a cap is an essential accessory to have when you're backpacking, especially in a hot country. We've got my eye mask, which I believe is the best eye mask in the world. I will link it down below, but the reason I love this so much is it's a really nice soft padded material. It's very big, so it does completely block the light out whenever you need the light completely blocked out, whether you're in a hostel dorm room or whether you're on a sleeper train or the plane. You just don't want to see anything. Yeah, I highly recommend this one, and I will link it in the description down below. It took me a long time to find the perfect eye mask, and I think I found it. So anyway, we've got this. We've got my Fem Fresh Wipes. Very good for when you go to the toilet and there is no toilet roll, or just when you want to do a number 2 and you need a bit more help, there's no bidet or whatever. I actually don't know where the best place to store these are, because I think in an ideal world they'd be in my bum bag, but these don't always fit in my bum bag. So anyway, it's a nice compromise to have them in this bag, and I have them most of the time when I need them. So anyway, but they also just act as general good wet wipes whenever you need them, just to clean anything that needs cleaning with a wet wipe. We have in here the plugs for all of those cables. So, well, the one for my laptop, this one I use for my iPad, this one I use for my phone, just the things that connect those cables to an actual energy source. Yeah, they just hang loose in my bag. I have some more wet wipes in here. I tend to collect some of the refreshing tissues and the antibacterial wipes that get given out in various places. Like sometimes you get given them on like public transport or planes, or sometimes you get given them in hotels or just in random restaurants. And yeah, I like to collect them if I'm not ever using them. And so yeah, I've got a couple of those. I also have a packet of just normal dry tissues. You never know when things like this come in handy. And then the final thing in this main section, we have this little road trip game kit, which Jeremy got me as part of my Christmas present, which is very nice. And we still haven't used this. And then moving on to the outside of this backpack, we have this detachable pouch. So yes, you can remove this. And actually this bag came with 2 of these pouches, one in this color and one in this nice black and white pattern. But I decided to bring this one with me on this trip. And in here, I'm basically just keeping kind of all of my first aid stuff. So I've got about 3 spare reusable masks in here. I have plasters, I have paracetamol, ibuprofen, I have anti-diarrhea tablets, I have blister plasters, I have condoms, I have Tic Tacs, which are not first aid, but you know, fresh breath is everything. I've got some antiseptic wipes, I've got day and night nurse, like cold and flu tablets. I've got a bunch of tampons. I like to keep tampons in like every single area of all of my bags for whenever I might possibly need one. I've got a tiny little sewing kit here, should I need it. And this is like my big stash. And then what I like to do is have at least one of every thing in my bum bag, in the front pocket of my bum bag, because the bum bag is what's going to be with me every single day, everywhere that I go. So yeah, I like to keep one of everything in there. And then of course, if I ever use it and need to replace it, this is where I go for that. So it's like the first aid stash, let's say. We're almost there. The last thing that I'm going to show you is another cool feature of this backpack is on the back here, you may see there's a secret little zip pocket, and it's quite flat, and what I keep in here is my secret little purse. It's basically just got some cash, some British cash, if I ever need to exchange that for whatever the local currency is. I've got like my credit cards here. I have spare debit cards as well. So let's say if an ATM machine ever, God forbid, swallows my card and I need cash, I can transfer money onto these spare debit cards in order to actually access the money that I need to. I've also got like my PADI rescue diver card in here, my PADI free diver card to ever present my qualifications. So yeah, I just keep that in this secret pocket here, and if I were to get out a large amount of cash as well, I would probably also keep some of that in there as well, just really nice and concealed. And what's also really nice about this backpack, you may have already noticed, is it has this sleeve here, which allows you to hook it over the handlebars of a suitcase, should you be carrying a suitcase. Obviously, I'm not on this trip, but I really liked that feature of this backpack as well. I do feel like in the future, when I go on slightly bougier trips, it will be nice to have a carry-on suitcase and then this, which just hooks over the top, and I just think that'll be a really nice combo. But yeah, that is my personal item and everything that I carry in it. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video and found it useful. Thank you so much again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. And now that I've showed you everything that I've packed, it's about time we get started with the Thailand vlog series. So the first video that I believe you're going to see after this is our sleeper train from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. Very, very exciting. So make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already, and like this video if you found it useful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.